Welcome to another video on my pneumatic hand, robotic arm and robotic wrist with compressor. Last time I did a reconstruction of the elbow, fixed the arm pivot, and I reconstructed the thumb of the hand. And while testing the hand, there was a problem with the pneumatics. Well, pneumatics problem can be twofold. You can have an electric problem and a real air pressure problem, and that brings us to the compressor. Because unfortunately the drive to the compressor, the big gear, is failing. And that is a big problem because when I put it on, it slips off again. It may be considered to be a miracle that it has lasted so long. However, considering the original design of the compressor, this is still a big improvement. So how should I rebuild it? Well, right now this is one piece. Well, not exactly one piece. These are two parts connected, and I want to change that. I want this wheel to be in between, so there's no chance it can slip off. The question is though how to do that. One thing is that this axis runs until here. Then there's the motor that goes here downwards, which drives this gear. Now if I want to split it and put it in between, then the motor comes in between the axis, which you can't do. You can't split an axis. So that is going to be a challenge. What I could do is put the motor in some way here, but then it has to be, well, somewhere else. And this axis is horizontal as well. And this is the axis that actually compresses the air. So let me first decompose or deconstruct the compressor and see what it ends up with. So first of all, this, taking it off, and that's a compressor without the motor. And yes, the axis runs all the way. So I could do with a shorter axis, but will it hold? That's a very good question. So yeah, do I need to draw it first, or can I just experiment? I think the latter one, because experimenting is nice. Learning while going. So let me take off this clamp and take this whole thing out, and then I see I can't do that. or only with a big problem, because the hose is in the way. Time to think. The solution is very well possible, even without moving things too much. This will still be taken apart. The point is though that there is absolutely no need for another axis, since these teeth which I'm using with the motor are all around. So if this is in between, the motor can very well be something like here, placed horizontally. No problem. The only thing against it is this interface extension, but that can be mounted somewhere here, and then there is room for the motor, which drives this gear from the side like this, and that would work. And if I take this apart, if I manage, not right now, but now I can manage, then it would be something like this, and it would still be stable. So I guess that's a very good solution. Yeah, let's reconstruct things. Take this apart, and then I will have to take this away. And this will go here somehow. So let's see how this works, or works out anyway. This proves to be harder than thought. Yeah, I think I should put it back a bit. See, that goes easier. And then things go like this. Does the wheel fit? Only one way to find out. Take this away and put the wheel on. It does fit. Yes, definitely. So this comes back on. It still works, and now I only need a piece here and this one on top. I think that is a very nice solution. Can I do that right now? No, because it needs to fit in here, so I need a different piece. but I think I'm on the correct way. Maybe I need to replace this one as well to make sure that this one works. So yeah, let's find out. A new insight. Considering the thickness of the interface, I have to mount the motor under an angle, and that enables the interface, the extension to be just in its own place. So it will be like this. And that makes sure that this needs to be replaced with this. And then this one comes in. And this one needs to be shifted a little further on. Let's see how this will work out. And then a clamp I had here. So that is part one. And if I look at this now, I think there's not much chance that this will block. Well, there is a chance it will block, unfortunately, but not much. So next step is making sure that the motor gets in the right way somehow. So let's figure that out. Now the question is, how do I construct this? I have to use this length and with this mounting pieces that you have seen before, I can do it like this, but the point is that these are all in the same flat, how do you call it in English? You can mount it on the plate at the exact point, but that's not possible because of this gear. So I have to use this corner piece either here or there, and I choose it to do it here, and make put here or there or both a corner piece so it can mount something right on there. And the question is, how do I do that exactly? And the only way to do that is trying out. So I grab a couple of corner pieces, and these happen to be together already. I shift it in. How close does it get? Well, I intend it to be in some 45 degrees, so this piece has to go. then what? Some block or can I just shift it a little bit? No, because this gear has to be there. Okay. So something in between here has still to come. And the question is, of course, what exactly? And I think I figured out something. So if I put this double notched piece just like here, and I use just another one like this and shift it right there, it may be solved. So, and that twice of course, because this one has to come on top of this as well, to make sure it's stable. So I'm going to find one. Well, it's now partly mounted, and this part still has to be constructed. So now first, does it work? The only way to find out is to actually try it, and therefore I of course use the diagnostics. So first I open the interface, then which motor to use. That is motor 1 on the interface. And once again, it would be very nice if that worked. So I may have to wiggle the wires a bit. And there one wire comes off. So that's unfortunate. I have to fix a wire. And you may remember that happened a few times now, so maybe it's time to fix it once and for all, and in a good way. Alright, that's one. Make sure it goes in motor 1 connection. Alright. New try. No, that doesn't really work. Why? Because it's slipping. So if I hold the motor in this way, what does it do? Alright, that's a lot better. But that means that in this way it is not really working, I'm afraid. No, it slips too much. It isn't close enough to the gear, so if I shift it, do I lose robustness? No, it's actually better. Now I don't have to hold it, Anyway, that is actually what I want. And now for this one. Not exactly similar, because therefore the distance is too short. So I have to figure out the angle and then another block with this one. So let's try that. So this is supposed to be more stable. And let's find out if this actually works. So once again with the diagnostics interface, low speed. Is this holding up? I would think so. Oh, what went wrong? What goes wrong here? That's a sound I don't like. Is it the sound of the gear missing the teeth? Could be. Yeah, that's it. It's the sound of the teeth being missed. It should be like this. Can I do it different? Well, that is hard to say. It needs to be like this. Slightly higher up maybe. So if I move them up above a bit, both. Alright. Is that it? No, certainly not. I need it closer to the teeth, to the big gear. That's more like it. Nope. The faster it goes, the more it misses the teeth, and that's not reliable enough. Although I like the construction, it needs to be improved. On the other hand, I can still test for the fingers to be moved. So will I do that? Yes, I will, and I can do that. Although not via the diagnostics. because the diagnostics just does one and it doesn't activate the valves, because that's all in the program. So let me on low speed test on that. I think that's a good idea. Okay, this is the diagnostic interface. I have to use this particular knob for motor 1 on the interface, the main. This is the extension. And as soon as I turn it in this way, or that way for that matter, reverse direction, then anyway I use this one, and then you find out that it goes very fast, of course, but because the robustness of the construction isn't as you may have hoped, it starts vibrating and then it misses, and the gear misses the teeth of the big gear. Now this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, this is 7, so it's 8 speeds. And it goes wrong around 5. So when I take a look at the code, this is actually for the compressor motor, and you see it has speed 5, which is here. So now for testing, to make sure that it doesn't miss anything, I would like to put it like 3, just to be safe. And in order to have it run, I say close interface. Now it grays out. And since that is everything I do now for the software, I don't have to really test it, and I can just run it with the camera on the hand and see whatever happens. And I hope this time the pneumatics do work, otherwise I really have a problem. So let's take a look at the camera. Let's see if it actually works with the hand. First, so far no problem with the compressor, and I'm pressing yes, it actually works. It actually works. Well, at least yes, okay, now the index finger works, but then I see another problem. And I will turn the camera for a better view. You can see here what ends up with the index finger. And it doesn't completely slide back as it should be. And that's an ouch. So my solution of last week doesn't really help as much as I had hoped for. And also the compressor shows audible signs of problems. Yep. Okay, I have to stop it. Well, the compressor works, the compression works. This is not as good as I had hoped, so I have to rethink it. And this one isn't as good either. Construction as it is kind of okay, but not good enough. Even at speed 3, as I put it, causes problems in the long run, and I've only ran it for, let's say, 2 minutes, so that's not the solution. And I think this is, or maybe, the culprit. And if you see the flexibility, then yeah, I really have to do something about it. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and if you don't want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. Please consider also to make a small donation to keep my blog and videos alive. And this is certainly going to be continued. Please also visit my website for more information and more projects.